Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Craig Stoss. I am the VP of Partner Solutions at Kodif. And today we're here to talk to you a lot about through one of our customer stories about how we had some success with our product. Kodif is a tool about efficiency in support. We look at it, and I think the first two talks this morning were really focused on that. You know, Sarah and the leaders of Horatio talked about the future being very human-centric. And that's our point of view. We want to bring efficiency to every type of ticket that your support team handles. And yes, that could mean FAQ answers, right? I think we all have those questions that just are Q&A. But it also could mean automating manual tasks, bringing more self-service to your team. It could mean taking actions automatically and reducing the time to handle a given ticket. It could also mean product recommendations and being able to compare things in your product catalog or your pricing model more easily and more accessible to your users. And my pen just broke. And of course, on top of all of that, it is the insights and analytics and the real-time alerting so that you can make intelligent decisions faster and be able to assist your customers more quickly. And that's what Kodif does. And someone who took advantage of that is our customer, Cindy from Fellow, who I'll now introduce herself.
Yes, I am Cindy Rodriguez. I just found out this week that actually, I guess I was the first Kodif customer when I joined Good Eggs back in 2014. But we started with Kodif in 2021, I believe. But yeah, I have over 10 years of experience. As a lot of you, I started off as a frontline associate for a little company called Bank of America. I worked at a call center during college, and customer service was actually not part of my journey at the time, but I naturally fell into it. Moved to the Bay Area, started with a company called Good Eggs as a frontline associate, and then made my way up as a team lead, supervisor, and then finally customer experience manager. I left Good Eggs, but before I left Good Eggs, I met the guys over at Kodif, and they brought on an incredible self-service product to Good Eggs, where customers were able to self-serve their issues when it came to like missing items, quality issues, order cancellations, and so forth. And now, fast forward to 2025, I am now with a company called Fellow Products. Any coffee lovers in the room? Here's a product plug. This is our Carter Carry. Fellow Products is an essentials coffee company where we want to elevate the coffee experience at home. So, yeah, I'm excited to dive into this presentation here.
So as with everything, and I think the theme today has been, let's start with some of the problems. So Cindy, when you went to market either time, both for Good Eggs or for Fellow, what were the problems that you went to market for?
Yeah, so when I first joined Fellow, one of the very first things that I identified were agents were taking a very long time with tier 1 tickets. So anything from like order cancellations to address updates to answering very simple FAQ questions. They're clogging up our queue. And I saw a huge opportunity to streamline these tickets and to automate them. So that was problem number one. It was taking up a lot of time from our agents, taking away from higher value interactions. And then the second was the lack of self-service options for customers.
And when you took a look at the market at the time, what stood out about the AI agent, the concept of AI agents? Why did you look towards AI?
I think one of the reasons was we did not want to take the human element out of our customer service, but we wanted to have agents focus on more impactful interactions. And we wanted to just simply solve those noisy tickets where customers didn't necessarily have to interact with somebody from our company. Yeah, that was number one.
One of our mottos at Kodif is less artificial, more intelligent, and we aim to look for more intelligent generative responses that feel not like macros. And I think, could you talk a little bit about how that works within your company today? How do you use our lack of macros to your advantage?
Yeah, so I guess I'll talk a little bit about like the workflows that we currently have working with Kodif. So we have actually three main features right now. We have our chatbot, where a customer is able to self-serve for like if they need to modify their order or they need to update their address, or they're just looking for a product or an answer to their simple question. The second layer is we also have an email automation component where if a customer does email our team, we do have automated responses that are coming from me. We have a bot, Cindy, on the team that is consistently the top ticket solver every week. So we have that. And then we also are now excited to be launching policies, which should help our automations as well.
And what was the impact that you saw? What were the impacts, the positive experiences that you saw?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest impacts, so we brought you guys on right before Black Friday. So as you know, Q4 in e-commerce is the biggest time of the year, gifting season. So we were able to launch our chatbot widget and email automation right before Black Friday. So we were able to reduce the noise in the queue. We were able to eliminate high volume of order cancellation tickets, order modifications, and address updates, so that agents were able to like focus on more complex issues. And then I guess like, yeah, the other thing is, they're reducing in errors as well. So one of the tedious things before bringing on Kodif was, I'll just give you guys, I'll paint a picture. So when a customer wanted an order cancellation, our agents would have to go into two separate systems to just cancel an order. Kodif completely automated that process for us.
What was the response from your customers when through those self-service and automations that we added?
It was, I mean, the responses coming from our automations are human-like. So they were very much engaging with the responses, and yeah, just positive feedback all around. Our bot Cindy does receive positive CSATs, so it's been great.
We had an example, actually, our CEO sitting back there gave us an example last night at the event where one of our customers, a dog food company, the person came into our AI agent and comments about how they were going away on vacation, and they were going to be gone for 2 weeks, and they really wanted to make sure their pet was satisfied during the vacation, and the bot came back using the persona that was programmed into it and talked and said, "Oh, it's so nice how you want to take care of your pet and make sure that they stay healthy and fed." And the person was like, "Oh, thank you for so much empathy," and clearly not realizing that this was an automated response. And I thought that was a clever, just a clever way of clever anecdote. So, the theme of this conversation is around the ability to use these types of techniques both to grow revenue and save cost. And so I'd like to talk a little bit about how did that actually happen in your business?
Yeah, totally. So before bringing on AI, Kodif AI, so customers, so whenever it came to like modifications, customers would have to wait in the queue for that to happen, right? Most of the time it was too late for customers to modify their order. So then, that led to missing out on adding an additional item to an order, or if the customer selected the wrong color of a grinder, right? That led to returns, and as we all know, returns cost money. So we saw a reduction in returns the last 4 months since implementing Kodif, which is great. That saved us a lot of money. But again, we also removed some of the customer friction in terms of like empowering them to make their own modifications, cancellations, if they mistakenly enter the wrong address, they can now change that to prevent those mistakes that eventually cost us a lot of money as a business.
And through all of this, right? So you were seeing positive impact. You were implementing multiple of our feature sets. What was the reaction from your agents? How was this rolled out and positioned to your group? Because we know that's going back to safety and security that we just talked about. How was that positioned?
I think I think they feel seen, that like their feedback matters. One of the reasons why I wanted to bring on an AI solution to handle these like very basic tickets were because of agent feedback. You know, it was tedious for them to be handling these tickets, so they have felt heard. They love, now that we're using Kodif Copilot, they love using it. It's so easy for them using the suggestion feature, and then allowing them to, it basically becoming more efficient as an agent. Yeah.
And so where is this headed? You know, we heard a little bit from Sarah earlier on about where she thought the industry was headed. Where do you see it heading within your business?
Yeah, I guess, I wrote here in my notes, we're not, as a CX manager, I'm not trying to replace humans with AI, right? I want to be able to alleviate the customer pain point, and at the same time, I want agents to engage in more meaningful and high-value interactions with customers that eventually will lead to retention, and it will lead to more sales for our company. That is eventually the goal. And to make life a lot easier for agents, to make it a place that they want to come and, work every day, and just for them to have the tools at their disposal to be able to do their job more easily.
Yeah, human enablement, right?
Of course.
The other thing is, as a more of a luxury brand in the market, do you find that this allows your agents to have more
time to have more meaningful conversations when a customer does end up talking to a human? Are they able to talk more about your products, talk more about the industry, or discuss favorite blends of coffee or whatever it might be for the individual need?
Exactly. It allows us to have a deeper interaction with the customer, whether that's like teaching them how to calibrate their grinder, or providing them with a coffee profile that they're able to
Reproduce on their new product from fellow Aiden Precision Coffee Maker, where they're making those connections that elevate the experience.
One that we did plan to talk about, but when we first got to the office this morning, you mentioned that there was an answer that you wanted changed, and we were able to change it quite quickly. Mm-hmm. How important to you is it to have those kind of real-time reactions when you see either an answer that isn't necessarily correct or could be improved, or an automation that maybe has an edge case you didn't account for that gets passed off to a human that doesn't need to? How important is it for you to self-service the product, and how does that impact your ability to use the tools that you have in your stack?
Yeah, I mean, customization and tailoring our own automations is huge. So being able to, like myself, go and do that on the portal is huge. But also, I do feel very well supported by your team, Craig. I think the group of engineers at Kodif are super responsive whenever there's a need to tweak anything or provide feedback. There's always that really tight feedback loop with the team.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So lastly, let's talk about through some of the success metrics you've seen over the past year. You want to talk us through some of these numbers and how they match up to some of your goals that you set out to achieve when we talk about your problems?
Yeah, definitely. So every Q4, and I'm sure this is the case with a lot of companies out there, but every Q4 we hire up temp agents because it's our busy season. We were able to reduce some of that headcount costs and reallocate it to more meaningful sections of our work. And then we also saw a return cost savings in returns and in general, like, again, empowering our customers to make their own decisions, to modify their orders. It definitely has impacted our return rate in a positive way. We've only been up and running with Kodif for about 4 months, and we're only touching the very tip of the iceberg here. So looking forward to continuing to identify other ways to improve and facilitate things, not only for customers, but also for agents.
And is there any goals going into 2025 that these numbers can improve, or can do you want to add new metrics to measure?
Yeah, I guess one of the things that I really want to improve is the one touch ticket percentage. I think like one of the things, as we're a complicated product, I want to be able to automate some of our warranty tickets and being able to make that a more positive experience for our customers. So there's a lot that we can do. I think, yeah, again, like I think we're just touching like the surface here for the first 4 months, but looking forward to dig deeper and seeing what are the things we can improve for customers.
Excellent. Are there any questions from the audience about the implementation at Fellow and how she used that, how they have used that to change their revenue models and save some money?
I have one kind of silly question. So you mentioned that your chatbot has a name for your, so that's probably not the right thing to say, chatbot, but what was her name?
So for our email automation, so anytime that you set an automation up in Zendesk, you have to assign it to someone. So I'm the chatbot. So all of those tickets are being assigned under Cindy. So we call her Bot Cindy. Yeah.
So my real question is, when Bot Cindy is speaking to the customer, are you telling the customer that, or are you kind of trying to pretend that Cindy's a real person?
We're not trying to pretend. We do sign off as the Fellow team, but it's, yeah, I mean, yeah. It's, again, these are like very simple general inquiry questions that we're answering. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
The return cost savings figure, the $10,000, just curious, is that a combination of like saved labor? Is that breakage? Is that customers that are choosing to self-serve instead of like calling in with the return? Just kind of curious what encompasses that.
That is strictly this particular number. I compared it to what we saw last year. So compared to last year, we did see a decline in returns. So yeah, that's what it is there.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and Cindy, and telling us your story.
Thank you, Craig. Appreciate it.